the week. And as you can see, guys, or maybe hear as the car just goes by, it is raining. And it has been raining pretty hard. As you can see, got a cap on, got my rain mac on. Azra was a little bit, I'm not sure whether I actually want to go out this morning. Because of course their routine is they always go out. As soon as I come downstairs in the morning. And they both went out. And quite frankly, they both put themselves back to bed. And that's a sure sign that they can take it or leave it, whether they go or not. She's going very early this morning, guys, so just bear with. Come on, Azra, let's go. Right, sorry about that. Good in a way. She got that over and done with early. She possibly thinks we're not going to be out for very long, but little does she know, we are going to do the normal walk because we both need our exercise. Yet again, not as heavy a weekend as last weekend, but Azra, come on, off the wall, come, stop, come on, get off. Yeah, you know, I can't even think. I don't think we went out. No, we didn't go out Saturday for to eat. We did go to cinema, and Azra, come on. We did go to the cinema and had a large drink and a bag of Skittles. And then yesterday had a healthy breakfast. But Julia, in her infinite wisdom, brought sweets into the house. And yeah, I had reckon I had between 5 and 10 here in the Grand Prix, which I'll come on to in a minute. Come on, Azra, let's go. Azra, come on. So yeah, it is wet this morning. The things we do for our pets, but also to keep this exercise going that we're doing. A bit early this morning, just couldn't sleep really, so I thought I'd just get up. Could hear the rain on the conservatory, and I thought, let's just get out there and get it over and done with. There have been times in the past where I've heard the rain like this and just thought to myself, just can't be bothered. Take her out later for a longer walk. But this routine that we've got into now with the walking in the mornings is good, and I want to keep it going. So if you are joining, welcome to the channel. Do like and subscribe. Yet again, I don't know what's wrong. I can't get my live chats working. So if anyone is communicating, I apologise. I can't see what you're putting. I don't know what's going on. I have tried to Google it, and there's nothing clear as to why it's not working. It always did. So I don't know what's going on. I will try a scheduled live as opposed to just spontaneous one, see if that makes any difference, but I don't think it should. So I don't know why it's not working. It hasn't been working now since last week, so it's obviously something I'm doing wrong. But as I say, usually you can Google most things and find out what's going on, but not this morning. Anyway, as I said already, Azra, come on. Come on. It's very wet. I don't know whether the camera is picking it up. But yeah, as I said earlier when I left, people joining all the time. Cap and a rain mat, but I have still got my shorts on. Don't know if the camera's picking it up, but it is. Very, very damp and wet. And as I said, Azra wasn't that sure, I don't think, about coming out this morning, but as soon as I said walk, she came bounding, so I think she was alright. So, the things we do for our pets. So what did everyone get up to at the weekend? Hopefully it was a good one for you, a restful one. Saturday was a pretty calm one, really. Julia did have to do the airport run. Then we went to see the new Jurassic Park film on Saturday night. I did give an honest review yesterday morning about that, but I'll do it again because there's people joining all the time. Purely and simply, guys, it's worth going to see. It's not. I don't think it's one of the best ones. It was quite slow in its build-up, but yeah, if you've seen the others, go and see it, because I'm not going to put you off. What I will say is the cinema we went to was pretty naff. The Light Cinema in Cambridge, although we did go to one of the lower number cinemas, so whether it would have been any different if we'd have gone to sort of the IMAX or the sort of number one screen, I don't know, but that's just my honest opinion. It was like going to a meeting at James's old junior school hall. The chairs were so tight, and even James said they were tight, so if they're tight for him, what do you think it's for Julia and me? So yeah, it was not great. Yesterday, met up with my brother and his little girl who were home from abroad, and went for breakfast. Come on, Azra. Good girl. And had a healthy breakfast. Had beans and scrambled egg on toast. Then we went to Stevenage, affectionately known as Evanage. It was time for Julie to upgrade on her mobile phone, and she wanted a certain colour, which is sort of a baby blue iPhone 16. Actually looks quite nice, but it took us. We got there, got it done. We didn't do anything else. We were going to go and have a look around the shops, but I don't think either of us could really be bothered or motivate ourselves. We would just be buying stuff for buying stuff's sake, I think. So we just didn't bother. Came straight home. Got the phone sorted out. Was in time for the F2 race, which I was mentioning in yesterday's live stream. And just did some jobs around the house. My brother came round because he did want to order some stuff online with one of Julia's accounts, so we did that. Then of course it was a Grand Prix, which was quite exciting. It's one of those, the first half of the race, there were so many accidents and stoppages, and it was so stop-start. The second half was a lot better, I thought. You know, I think in the cold light of day, you know, I'm a Lando fan, and I want Lando to win, obviously. And that was my alarm going off, to which he did. But I did feel a little bit sorry for Oscar. You know, very much on the day, he deserves the penalty, you know, and I still think he does deserve the penalty because it was braking excessively. Come on, Azra, let's go, come on. and obviously you just can't do that, especially in the rain when you can't see the car in front. So a shame, but from a World Championship point of view, it really does help, obviously, sort of tighten it all back up. We're going to a couple of tracks that I think Lando likes now. Obviously, slight bad memories of Hungary last year from the point of view of the team orders debate and all that nonsense. But yeah, I think now, second half of the season, if you're a Formula 1 fan, we've just got to hold on tight, because I think it is now just between those two. I think the constructors is pretty much done. Mathematically, obviously not, but I don't think anyone's going to catch them on the form that they're in. So I think they should now just say, right, don't take each other out, but just race. And as a spectacle, you'll get a lot more fans if you just let these guys go. Whatever happens come the end of the season will happen. Whether it be Lando or Oscar, it's going to happen. So, as a patriotic Englishman, of course I want it to be Lando, but may the best man win, and that's the facts, isn't it? So, yeah, that's my weekend. Normal week this week, nothing really that exciting to let you know about, just work. Really enjoying my new job. Been there now just over a couple of months, and it is so refreshing to, as much as you can do, enjoy going to work, enjoy and go to work. It is the atmosphere is just so much better. Customers are so much better. Yeah, it's just, yeah, it's completely different from what I've been used to prior, considering it's essentially the same job, just in a different place, in a different atmosphere. Yeah, it's really, really nice. And I said this before, ages ago, and I'll say it again. And it's easy for me to say because I've done it. But when you're a worrier like me, it's even worse to think about. But do not get stuck in a rut, guys, in your jobs. You know, if you're not happy, either do something about it in your current job, which is obviously isn't always easy even, or look for something else. Because I know that they say the grass isn't always greener, but sometimes it is. And I've been very, very lucky. And I had my reservations, but honestly couldn't have wished for a better new home, and really, really enjoying it. So yeah, it's there if you want to go and find it. You just got to sometimes go out and do that. So that's where we've been having the lovely sunrises over the last few weeks. If you've been joining me this morning, very cloudy. Are these ducks in front, Azra? No, they're rabbits. That's how good my eyes are. Come on, come on. As you can see, she's absolutely soaked. People joining all the time, welcome to Triple J TV. We've been doing this now for the last few weeks, these lives. They've been really, really popular. So thank you to everyone that has tuned in. Do like and subscribe. The lives over the weekend, wow, most popular I've had. 1.3 thousand on Saturday and 1.8 thousand yesterday. And it just baffles me. I mean, I'm doing these walks anyway, but I'm bringing you guys along for the stroll as well. And as I said before, if you get sick of my voice, just put me on mute. Just watch the lovely Azra and the scenery, because it is really, really nice. Right, Azra, what are you doing? Because I'm hoping you're not going to fall in that lake again. Or stream. Not a lake, is it really? Stream. Come on. Good girl. Good girl. Come on, let's go. Azra, lead on. Come on. Come on. Good girl. People don't tune in to listen to me, Azra, anyway. They tune in to watch you. I might give them, from time to time, an interesting fact, but not often. So it is now less than 4 weeks until the cruise. It's getting quite exciting. Loads of people joining that Facebook group as well, which obviously is just adding to the knowledge within the group. I mean, when I started it off, did I ever think we'd get anywhere near 500 people in the group? Obviously not. But, you know, and I suppose you could say, well, on a ship that's got 5,000 passengers, 500 isn't a great number, but I think it's pretty good. And there's another group that was set up after, which has got half that amount. And I actually did speak to the woman who set it up, and I said, why don't we just, you know, have one group where one person can come and get all the information they need, rather than having to look around. And she was just, bloody hell, that was a deer. Don't know if you saw that, guys. Came out of nowhere, that one. Sorry about that. Yeah, I just said, why don't we just have the one group? And she was just a bit hooty-tooty, so I just said, okay, get on with it, enjoy your cruise. But it just seemed silly to me, really. And I thought what I was saying was a perfectly sensible thing to say. So you have all the information in one place. But anyway, Azra, it's gone now, so stop pulling, please. Right, here we go. And you can see, I don't know if the camera is picking it up, guys, but it's just so much more darker this morning than it has been. Obviously the last few weeks, I mean, we absolutely 110% need this rain, and it's actually quite nice to be doing this walk in the cool. The rain doesn't bother me. I've got my raincoat on, I've got my cap on. Obviously I know I'll have to dry off when we get home, but you notice it, is my point. Now last week I may have said James came home from school on Friday. He'd been poorly and sick in the morning. He generally wasn't very well on Friday. You know, with him, he moans about the slightest thing, let me assure you. But he had a real temperature, and you know when he's not well, because he didn't want to do anything on his phone or his iPad. He just went to lay in bed, and that's a sure sign he's not well. So he's much better, but he had a bit of a sore throat and a cold as well as the temperature, and he's definitely given some of it to Julia, the sore throat. I've got a bit of a sniffle this morning, but yeah, I'm glad. If we were going to get any bugs, we got them now rather than just before we went on the cruise, because when we went on the cruise, the last one, and I didn't know it at the time, and it's only when you get back and you read stuff, but unfortunately COVID was rife on the cruise ship, and you sort of, when you look back, you sort of think, oh, there were the hand sanitizers that weren't there at the beginning, that came out sort of midway through the cruise. Little things like that you think to yourself, come on, Azra, good girl. You think to yourself, it makes sense now, I'm back. But at the time you sort of think to yourself, well, it's just part of the course. Especially in the buffet, where unfortunately you do get, and I'm not going to paint it any other way, disgusting people that use their fingers in the buffet, you know, rather than using a fork or tongs, whatever. But I was unlucky enough to get I've had COVID twice, and I remember vividly saying to Julia, probably the mid-weekend we were on the cruise, this feels exactly the same as when I had COVID. It just completely knocked it out of me. And I can't even remember where we were, but I do remember sort of not really wanting to go out of the room, and not feeling that great at all. Had they have actually put something on the ship, and I know obviously the reasons why they don't do it, but I think at that point, all right, we were, what were we? What we now, 25, so it's 23. So 3 years after the initial lockdown, just over 3 years. And I know people are on holiday, but that is why COVID spread around that ship, because they didn't warn people. And I know a lot of people probably would have ignored the warnings anyway. But there were obviously elderly people on that cruise that could have been massively more affected than perhaps people of my age, although clearly people of my age can be affected by it too. So yes, my point is that I'm glad if we're going to get any bugs, we got them now before we sort of get closer to the cruise. I don't know exactly when James breaks up. It must be in the next 2 to 3 weeks, because it's less than 4 weeks we go. So get him out of school, get him away from all the bugs. Although Julia signed him up for a sports club over the summer holidays, and I know he's got a few days. But yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine. Come on, Azra, let's go. Because worst thing, guys, and I'll go back even further about being ill on holiday and how much it absolutely finishes you off. We went to Turkey in, come on, God, it must have been 2022 now. And I had on the flight a sausage roll. And I'll be honest with you, the sausage roll tasted absolutely fine. But landed, got to the hotel, hadn't eaten anything else. And for the next few days, I was ill. And I hardly ate the first couple of days, one of which was my birthday. And then when it's hot as well, and you're not well, by Christ does it take it out of you. Oh my goodness me, it was awful. And I had to do a journey in a car that was pre-planned, that I couldn't get out of because I'd hired the car. So strategically trying to find places I could go to the bathroom should I need to. Fortunately, because I hadn't eaten much, it wasn't too bad. And then at the end of the holiday, again, it was a 5-star hotel we stayed at, all inclusive. Yes, Azra's horsey friends. I wonder whether Azra's going to look over, because they're looking out for her this morning. I don't know if you can see that, guys, the grey one there, looking out for Azra. She's having a good look. Come on. It was still sort of an open buffet. And the last day we'd booked our weekly a la carte allocation in the steakhouse, which we were both looking forward to. And I remember even to this day, Julie said to me, "You look green." And I said to her, "I really don't feel well." And I got back to the room, and it wasn't nice, guys. It was just horrible. And I again found out, once we got home, on the Facebook site for the hotel that there had been a sickness bug outbreak at the hotel. So again, flying when you're upset, having an upset tummy, ain't much fun either, guys. So yeah, enough of that anyway. Hopefully I haven't lost any viewers because of that conversation, because it's pretty disgusting, but I'm just making the point that places can be a little bit more honest, shall we say, because then people are a bit more prepared and maybe take better precautions perhaps. Some people never will, and that's just life, isn't it? Come on, Azra. Come on, you can't dry yourself in a bush. Some people never will, and that's just people, isn't it? But people that do want to sort of be a bit more careful at least have the opportunity to be a bit more careful. And as I say, for the food poisoning on a plane, well, suffice to say, apart from maybe chips, I've never eaten on a short haul flight again since. Because I just, to be fair, guys, I was very unlucky because I've eaten on planes before and never had a problem. But you imagine you were going away just for a week, and the first 2 or 3 days you're ill. That screwed you up massively, and that's the thing that I always think to myself. You know, you people save up for their holidays all year round, and to have it ruined. Yes, we were there for 2 weeks, but let's say 3 of those 14 days I was ill, at least 3, maybe 4. Even the rabbits aren't out today. Oh, there's 2 over there, sorry. So, yeah, but I don't like being negative on the live stream, so let's be positive. We are going to extend the walk a little bit as we're out. We're wet anyway. We're going to go sort of around the back of the science park. So if you are still with me, stick with it. It is much appreciated. I haven't been keeping an eye on the numbers, so I can see what I've got in a minute, but I think it has got more than that, and I think it has got less than that. But yeah, if you are still with me, please do stick with it. Like and subscribe. As this rain, I don't think it's getting worse. I just think it's because we're under the tree. It sounds worse. Although saying, if you look in this puddle, guys, it is pouring. The things we do for our pets, eh? My exercise ring is just been shut, so that's good. Everything else I do today now is a bonus. Fantastic. Absolutely pouring, guys. Good night. What are you looking at? Oh, it's bunnies again. But you're not going to get there, are you? So don't even worry about it. There's a fence there. She worked with me very early on into the walk. Very lucky this morning. Azra did her stuff very early on, which has made it quite nice this morning. But when I get home, obviously I've got her towel her all down. She won't be going upstairs to see Julia. She'll just be going into her bed and probably having a sulk. This is what I really want in the future, guys, a little camper van. So you can please yourself, go where you want, when you want. That really appeals to me. And when obviously Julie and me can go on holidays, potentially when we want to. Oh, rather than in school holidays and stuff like that. That really, really appeals. Obviously I know the initial outlay is quite expensive, and I know you've got to have somewhere to put it. So lots of things to look into there. But yeah, as I say, that Azra, come on. That really, really appeals Azra, would you lead on? She's in a funny old mood this morning, guys. Come. Yep, this is the extension to the walk. Come on, let's go. Okay, so those that weren't with us on Friday... No, Azra. No, Azra. You're not going to dry yourself on grass that's wet, are you? Those of you that weren't with us on Friday Night Live, you won't have seen this little bit of the walk because... Sorry, those of you that were with us on Friday night, you will have seen this walk. Everyone else, I very rarely do this because I'm that bit later. But this morning, it's a lot earlier. So I thought I'd just add this to the walk. People that are joining all the time, welcome. Thanks for joining. It is absolutely pouring with rain. I'll show you this puddle. If you can't hear it with the speaker, guys, all you need to do is look at the puddles. It's absolutely pouring now. I'm so glad I've got my cap and my work raincoat on. Azra, this way, come on. There she is, the star of the show. Come on, Azra. But yeah, guys, it's absolutely hosing it down now. And this is literally only started when I made this decision to do a left rather than go straight on, which is what I normally would. So we're going to have a little bit of shelter in a minute. Going through this wooded area. Just got to dry my hand, guys. I'm absolutely soaked on the handle. Come on, Azra. To be fair, I shouldn't moan because there was a warning and I did look at the warning and it did say it was going to be pouring with rain. Guys, she's just doing her second bit of business of the day, so just bear with me. I am still here. You just be looking at the grass for a minute. That's right, just wait, please. Good girl, just wait. Come on, get the bag out here. Sorry about that, guys. Those that are joining all the time, welcome. Triple J TV, and it's pouring with rain. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I wouldn't normally come out in this weather. Two reasons I've done it. Three reasons actually. One, to get her out. Two, to get me out. And three, because I enjoy doing these live streams for you guys. I really do, and it's been so popular over the last week or so. I mean, especially over the weekend. 1.3 and 1.8 thousand views respectively on Saturday and Sunday lives. I mean, for a little channel like mine, just blows my mind, if I'm honest with you. But it's each and every one of you that get up and want to watch the streams as well. Come on, Azra. That enjoy it with me as well. But this morning, I'm verging on not enjoying it as much. I'm not going to fib to you guys. This weather is pretty crap and pretty dire. And as I say, it is absolutely hosing it down now. And the last bit of shelter we're going to get, we're just coming out of. Come on. So we've just got to find a bin on the way home. At the end of the path here, guys. So as far into the distance as you can see there, will probably where I end this, because I've got to sort myself out. Got to dry her off as well when we get home. So I'm going to end this pretty much in the next 3 or 4 minutes. So I think she's had enough now as well. And you can see from these puddles, it is absolutely hosing it down. So I guess, guys, all that's really left to say is I hope you have a nice Monday, as much as Mondays can be. First day of the working week, school week, whatever you're doing. Don't overdo it, as best as you can. And hopefully when we meet each other again, which will be tomorrow morning, it's clearly going to be a lot drier than it is now. Guys, have a good day, and we'll speak again soon.